Sadashivasamarambham Shankaraachaarya madhyamam Asmadacharya paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Trailokyanatha Harimidhyamudara Sattvam Shaktesthanujatanyam Parameshtikalpam Jimuta Mukta Vimalambara Charu Varnam Vasishthamugra Tapasam Pranatosmi Nityam. We were looking at the 36th verse here. So the Shishya has asked a question that how can this Atma be this limitless Brahman? Because if you see here, the Guru has been talking about what is Atma, what is Anatma. And then he goes on to explain that whatever is known as this, whatever is a known object, in fact, can never be the subject. So in this, all the things which we know as an object in this world, actually there is no big confusion there. We don't take a phone or a computer or a table as I. But the confusion starts from the body onwards. Even though I see the body, I know the body, still I take the body as I. There is a wrong notion placed on the body. There is an identity, self-identity we give there. Then the Indriyas also the same thing happens. Mind also same thing happens. So now the Acharya showed us that whatever you know as this, whatever is known, whatever I know is not I. This is the simplest of analysis we do. Whatever I know is not I. In this we have to have a certain clarity. In this, another important thing is there is an I thought also. That I thought also is not I. That was pointed out, which is very important to understand. I am there even when there is no I thought. Understand that. Even when there are no thoughts also, I am there. I am the consciousness which illumines the I thought also, which illumines all other thoughts also in the mind. So I am that consciousness to which everything becomes evident. Even if nothing is there to become evident, also I am there. I am as I am. So this is something to be understood. And once this is understood, that I am of the nature of a conscious being, still there is a question of the relationship between this conscious being and whatever is known, correct? Whatever becomes evident, which is this entire world, you can say, correct? The objective world is there, which is becoming evident to the subject whose nature is of being and consciousness. Now, what is the relationship between these two? This also was discussed. The conscious being, which I am, is a partless whole. And this conscious being is a homogeneous consciousness which does not have any parts. It's called Prajnana Ghana. That's why the Upanishad uses the word Prajnana Ghana, which points out that it is homogeneously conscious without any difference anywhere, that means that there are no parts, there are no differences within also the conscious being. So this conscious being, how is it related to all the things which becomes evident to it? Means it cannot have any relationship. That is the conclusion we arrive at, because only that which has parts can be related to something else which has parts again. Okay, one part of a thing can be connected to another part of a thing. Since this Atma is partless, it is qualityless, it is actionless, it does not belong to any particular species, it is categoryless. All these things are not there. Therefore, it cannot be related to anything. This was pointed out. And then, but still, world is there, correct? How do we account for it? Means that is where we say adhyasika sambandha. The world is an adhyasa on this Atma. Adhyasika means it is simply an appearance. An appearance does not have any connection to the substratum where this appearance happens, correct? If a snake appears on rope, you cannot look for any real connection between the snake and the rope which is there. While the snake appears, it appears real, no doubt about that. It appears also, it is perceived. So we do not deny the perception of the world. Understand that. Nobody can deny the perception of the world, but the reality of that perception is what we are trying to understand, and how it is related to me as a conscious being. That relationship is pointed out as, like even how the snake is related to the rope, means it is simply an appearance. It is adhyasika, it is superimposed. That is why there is no real connection between the world and myself. Once this is understood, the other thing is implied, correct? That means this conscious being is the Satyam. It is the only thing which is true, correct? Because Satyam, how do we define Satyam? That which can never be negated. Understand that. That which can never be negated is Satyam or truth. In fact, I may have told you that story also, where my Guruji was confronted by a professor, I think, of a university, because it is very fashionable to say that truth is a pathless land, or truth cannot be defined, or it cannot be taught, and all that. But we do not accept that. Understand that. We have a sampradaya, we have a Guru Shishya Parampara, where this truth is defined, truth is taught. That's why we have a Guru Shishya Parampara. Otherwise, it will be meaningless, correct? Why should you even attend a class? Why should I conduct a class? So that which can never be negated is the truth. In fact, that which remains as it is, that's how Bhashyakara defines it. Bhashyakara defines it as yadrupena yen nishchitam bhavati, tadrupena tanna vyabhicharati iti satyam. So once you have ascertained something as of this nature, it never changes. That means it can never be negated. That is the idea also. It is always as it is. And my truth is, I am a conscious being that never goes away. Understand that. I am always a conscious being in whichever state, whether in waking, in dream, in deep sleep, it never changes. I am the invariable consciousness to whom everything becomes evident. If nothing is there, that also is evident to you that I did not know anything. Understand that. So you are that consciousness, and that consciousness has no relationship with anything else which you know as this. It's all only appearance. And therefore, this consciousness being Satyam, it pervades everything which is Mithya. Understand that. So, silently, our Acharya, he says here, Ubhayam pashyati yaha avikritaha. The avikritaha is the Atma, the unchanging in each and every cognition. That which is the invariable is the consciousness, the conscious being which I am, correct? So that is the one which sees both the Vishaya and also the Ahankara, the Aham Vritti, you can say. Because there are two things. There is something which is known, and also I know. As a knower also I am there. The knower and the known, both are nothing but thoughts. And that to which both the knower and the known become evident, and which is invariable in each and every cognition. That Atma is Paramatma. Suddenly he makes an equation here, correct? Paramatma Saduktihi Asau Purushaha. So that this Atma is nothing but the Sadvastu which is revealed in the Upanishad, which is Paramatma, which is the Jagat Karanam, which is the cause of everything. Now the Sishya here immediately asks, how can you do this? How did you arrive at this? You have made a jump, quantum jump, you can say. Means the Sishya asked the question and Guru said, no, I didn't say anything contradictory. Na viruddham avadisham etadaham. Shrutihi api amum artham uvacha. Shruti also said the same thing. I have not said anything contradictory. And this whole text is called Shruti Saara Samuddharanam. So our Acharya in the 36th verse, which we saw before, is quoting all the different Shrutis here. He only gives one word. That means you are already supposed to be a well-read student to know from that one word what the Acharya is referring to. And so, Amatam, that's all he says. Now, Amatam refers to what? Means Amatam, Mantra, Avijñatam, Vijñatra, like that, Brihadaranyaka. There is Akshara Brahmanam. In fact, even for me, it is familiar because recently we have had all those Brihadaranyaka classes. Okay. So, Amatam, Mantra, it is the one which is the thinker, but it itself cannot be thought about as an object. Correct? It is not an object of any thought. It is the knower, but it is not an object of any cognition. Like that is a big everything is said like that in that Brihadaranyaka. Similarly, na matehe, this is also Brihadaranyaka again. Recently we saw. Na matehe mantaram manvithaha. There is a Ushasti Brahmanam in Brihadaranyaka. It comes here. So what does it say? The one which is even illumining the mind, that cannot be thought about as an object of your mind itself, correct? Mind can objectify everything else. Even a black hole, which cannot be perceived otherwise, mentally you can conceptualize it. Through inference you can know, because from somewhere if you are not getting any radiation, nothing, then the scientists infer that there has to be a black hole there. And you have a certain concept about that black hole also in your mind. That's how we understand. So everything you conceptualize in your mind or you directly perceive through your sense organs, everything comes through your mind only. You objectify it in your mind. But the mind itself is able to objectify other things because of being illumined by the consciousness. That consciousness is you, and mind cannot objectify. Okay. So, na matehe amataha tadidam. Tad means tattvamasi. He is referring to tattvamasi. Idam means what? Again, this is also another Mahavakya from Brihadaranyaka. Tattvamasi is obviously from Chandogya. Idam sarvam yedayam atma. That is again Maitreyi Brahmanam in Brihadaranyaka. Then he refers to Yadamutra. So that is Kathopanishad. Yedeva iha tadamutra yadamutra tadanviha mrityoho sa mrityumatma apnoti yaiha nana iva pashyati. The one who sees many things here, he goes from death to death, because you take yourself also one of the many things. You also become a thing. If you become an object in the creation, and you have an identity with your body, mind, sense complex as an object in space time, in creation. I am in space time means you are going from death to death. Understand that. Upanishad says you can't do anything about it. You may be a very, very exalted being. You may be a deva, but still you have to go from death to death only. Understand that. But then what? What is the truth? Space-time is in me. Space-time is an appearance in me. That is the truth. Whatever is there here only, it is there. Amutra also. Wherever you want to go. Everywhere this Atma alone is there. So like this, that also, this Atma alone is Sarvantaratma also. Yes, Sakshad, Aparokshad, Brahma. And that Brahma is also the Atma in each and every being. So one's own self alone is the self of all the beings. That is the vision. Sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani cha atmani. Like this, Gita also says the same thing. So all these things are pointed out here beautifully by the Acharya. And Kaschiditi, this also is there. Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam aikshati. Okay, and Yad also is there. Yad vacha anabhyuditam yena vag abhyudyate tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Like this, many Shrutis, with each word is pointing to some Shruti Vakya. All of them are pointing to the identity between the individual self and the Jagat Karanam Brahma. So these are all taught, revealed by the Shruti only. Shrutishu pratipaditam asya drishehe paramatma padatvam amushu bhrisham. So repeatedly the Shruti is revealing this truth to us. So up to this we saw already. Now, yad anabhyuditam vadanena sada nayanena cha pashyati yenna sada shravanena cha yenna shrinoti sada manasapi cha yen manutena sada vadanam nayanam cha tata shravanam manayeva cha yena matam satatam avagacha tadeva padam paramam swamiti shrutihi ikshituhu uktavati. In fact, I should have chanted it in our tune, I think. Yadanabhyuditam vadanena sada nayanena cha pashyati yanna sada shravanena cha yanna shrinoti sada manasapi cha yanmanutena sada vadanam nayanam cha tatha shravanam manayeva cha yena matam satatam avagacha tadeva padam paramam Twamiti Shruti Rikshituruktavati. Okay, that also we have done. So these two verses again are pointing to Kenopanishad. Kenopanishad is one of my favorites because it teaches straight away. It starts with the teaching only. There is no beating around the bush, nothing. Directly. Okay. Kene shitam patati preshitam manaha kena pranah pratamah praiti yuktaha. In fact, you can even memorize that. It's a very small Upanishad and very useful to recollect and again do manana. Okay, manana nididhyasana. With Upanishad Vakya only we have to do. And Keno Upanishad is a small Upanishad, but very, very profound. So in that, in the first adhyaya or khanda only, we have this. What? Yad vacha anabhyutitam yena vag abhyudhyate tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam ididam upasate yen manasana manute yenahur mano matam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam ididam upasate yet chakshusha na pashyati yena chakshumshi pashyati tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam ididam upasate yet shrotrena na shrunoti yena shrotram idam shrutam Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam ididam upasate. Yat pranena na praniti. Yena pranah praniyate. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam ididam upasate. Like this, that first khanda in the it ends like that. These 5 verses. That is what here Acharya is referring to in the next 2 verses. If you see, Yad anabhyuditam, Yad vacha anabhyuditam, like that only it starts. By words, that which cannot be denoted by words. Because word means it has a meaning, correct? All words have meaning, understand that. Otherwise, it is only a sound. I say gagabugang. My Guruji used to use that word. In fact, so it has gained a meaning also. Gagabugang can be just a sound if you don't understand what it is. But to tell, to indicate a sound which does not really mean anything, we use that, you can say. Then it has got that meaning. Anyway, so all words have a meaning. Now, if Brahman or Atma is the meaning of any one word, means it will become an object, correct? It will also become one of the objects. Means it will become limited. Is that clear? That is why Brahman cannot be the meaning of any one word. Even words which we use to reveal Brahman are only Lakshana, we say. Okay. See, when we analyze words in our tradition, we say that there is a Shakti Vritti, they say. Correct? A word has a capability to reveal something, correct? That is its meaning. That is its direct meaning, let us say in English. So there is something called a direct meaning of all the words. So what we are trying to say here is, Brahman cannot be the direct meaning of any one word. Is that clear? Because as I told you, if it's the direct meaning of any one word, then it will not be the direct meaning of some other word, correct? By implication. That means it becomes a limited object. Is that clear? So that is why we say it is vacha anabhyuditam. It cannot be the direct meaning, or it cannot be directly denoted by any one word. Now all our modern Vedantins become very happy. They say, oh great, Brahman cannot be denoted by any word. Then why are you reading all this Shastra? Close your books. It is all only like some map and all that. Sit in meditation. Okay. Then you will hear some sound. Atma's sound will come in deep meditation. Means that also Upanishad says, Yet Shrotrena na Shrunoti. You cannot hear the Atma. Understand that. Atma has no sound to produce. Yet Shrotrena na Shrunoti. Yena Shrotram idam Shrutam. By which your ear is hearing, that is the Atma, that is Brahman. It does not have any sound. So you cannot hear the sound of Atma in any meditation. Similarly, whatever visions you see also, let us say you do Dhyanam, nothing wrong, correct? Dhyanam is a useful sadhana to have a certain mental disposition, which is a prerequisite for studying the Shastra. We don't deny that. But meditation itself is not a means of knowledge or anything. Understand that. Just being a meditator, you can have a calm mind. You have a mind. You can have the mind under your mastery, being a meditator, no doubt, which is very useful. But that itself is not going to give you moksha, or it's not going to free you from your ignorance. One has to understand that nature of the meditator, meditating on the meditator. Then you are now seeing it differently, because the one to whom even during meditation also you are trying to focus on something, correct? So whatever you are focusing on, the mind, to whom that mind and its activities are becoming evident, that reality is you. That's why there is en manasana manute also is there. Even in meditation, any vision, any thought, yet chakshushana pashyati also is there. You cannot see with your eyes. You cannot think about it also. Anything you think about is not Brahman. Correct? Nedam edidam upasate. Upanishad is clear. It says, so it is revealing to you very clearly. Yad vacha na anabhyuditam. Yad vacha anabhyuditam. Yena vag abhyudyate. So by which the speech itself becomes evident. That which cannot be revealed by any speech or words, but by whose presence only even speech becomes intelligible, speech becomes evident to you. That reality, that consciousness is you. That is Brahman also. Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi. That is the Brahman, Jagat Karanam, Anantam. Correct? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Brahma is nothing but this Atma, to which everything becomes evident, including speech, thoughts in the mind, correct? Visual stimuli, auditory stimuli, all other sensory stimuli. And it is not something which you objectify. So the Shruti not only says what is Brahman, but the beauty is Nedam edidam upasate, Nedam edidam upasate. Like that, it keeps on saying what it is not also, to make it even more clear. Otherwise, there are enough people, theologies, which can come and say, whatever you do, upasana, on, correct? This Devata alone is Upasya Devata. They also have some restriction and all that. So Vaishnava will say only Vishnu is Upasya. Shankam, Chakram, 4 hands, all that, correct? That Vishnu is Brahman. Means Upanishad itself says, Nedam edidam upasate. Again, Upasana, we are not saying that you should not do or it is useless or anything like that. Understand that. Upasana is again useful to gain this knowledge that whatever you are doing, Upasya, whatever is the Upasya Devata itself is not Brahman. Understand that. Brahman is this Atma alone. This Chaitanyam. In fact, as soon as you reduce Vishnu or Brahman to an object, you make it Anatma, correct? You make it Jada. So I don't know how people can do that. So this first line is referring to those, whatever I said, correct? Those Kenopanishad Vakyas. So Vadanena Sada Yad Anabhyuditam, that which cannot be known through any words. Nayanenacha, you cannot, Nayanenacha Yenna Pashyati Sada, always. Okay, you can never see this as an object of your sight. You can never know this as the meaning of any one word. Shravanena cha yenna shrinoti. You cannot hear it also. It doesn't have any sound. Sada manasapi cha yen na manute sada. Okay. Manasapi cha yen na manute sada. That which cannot be thought about also. It is not an object of your thought. Understand that. It is of the very nature of the thinker. That is what we have to understand. And the next verse also, first half, it tells the other part. See, in the 5 Vakyas, Yad Vacha Anabhyuditam, fine. Yen Manasana Manute, Yat Shrotrena na Shrinoti, Yat Chakshushana Pashyati, Yat Pranena na Praniti. Acharya has left here because I think he did not have enough in the meter. So prana also we have to take, okay. In the Upanishad it talks about the prana also, but here Acharya has only talked about Vadana, Shravana, and this thing, correct? Darshanam and Mananam, the see whatever thinking and all that, these 4. And then the other part is there, correct? In the Upanishad sloka, if you take, Yad Vacha Anabhyuditam is one part. So he has summarized what is not, what cannot be done with this Atma. But then what is this Atma? That Upanishad reveals, correct? Yena vag abhyudyate. Yen manasana manute yenahur manomatam. Yet shrotrena na shrunoti Yena Shrotram Idam Shrutam. Like that, the other part he is summarizing separately in the 38th verse. What he says, Vadanam Nayanam Tatacha Shravanam Manai Evacha Yena Matam Satatam, by which all whatever is happening in your organ of speech, in your organ of sight, in your organ of hearing, in your mind, whatever is happening, all the activities are becoming evident to whom? To which consciousness? Avagacha tadevat padam paramam tvamiti. No. Okay, you have to know this. Know what? That conscious being alone is paramam padam also. Correct? It is the ultimate goal, or it is the ultimate reality, which is the Jagat Karanam also. Once we say paramam, means it refers to the Paramatma. Don't think that you are puny individual. The whole problem starts from there. Correct? The individuality is the problem. As soon as you identify yourself as an individual, you become a part of this whole world, and always the world is bigger than the individual. Whoever you are, the world will get you eventually. So you are going to always have a problem. Whatever you may achieve in this life as an individual, being an individual itself is a problem. Correct? That individuality is not real, because it is not intrinsic to you. Understand that individuality comes and goes. Individuality changes in dream. Individuality is not at all there in deep sleep. In fact, that's when you are always happy. Correct? So I am this conscious being to whom all these activities of these different sensory organs and mind, etc., becomes evident always. And that conscious being I have to know. Correct? Avagacha tadeva padamam param tvamiti. So where do I know it from? Means Shrutihi ikshituhu uktavati. The Shruti has said this. Correct? Shruti is the only pramana. Even though Brahman is not the meaning of any one word, even though Brahman cannot be thought of, it is not an object of your mind. This is being made clear even in Taittiriya Upanishad, correct? So, yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha. From where words return back, it seems, because they cannot indicate, they denote, along with the mind also, because mind also cannot objectify. But that Atma, understand, need not be objectified. That is the beauty. To know this Atma, you don't have to objectify it, because it is you. It is self-revealing, self-existent reality. So what is the role of the Shastra then? Shastra is not establishing the existence of the self. Understand that self is already known. If you go and ask anybody, are you there? Everybody will say yes. They have no confusion about their own existence. So Shastra is not revealing Atma like it is revealing Swarga or something. Understand that. The role of the Shastra with reference to self-knowledge is that it has to only remove wrong notions. It has to give you clarity about Atma and Anatma and the truth about these two, correct? So Shastra is giving you this discriminative knowledge. What is Atma, what is Anatma? And once you know them and their nature, one becomes Mithya, other is the only Satyam. That's all you have to know. This can be conveyed through words. Understand that. Shastra Pramana is only in the form of word, correct? It is a word mirror which is showing to you your own reality. Because the subject can never be objectified. The eyes cannot see itself. So somebody said, why are you looking into the mirror? Turn your eyes inside and see the eyes, means you cannot see, correct? Eyes cannot objectify themselves. If you want to see your eyes, you have to look into the mirror. Like that, the words of the Shastra alone reveal who you are. That's why it is called Shastra Darpana, in fact. It's called the word mirror, correct? Shastra itself is called as a mirror because in the light of its revelation only I have to know myself. My reality. Each and every Vedanta class is nothing but it is showing you your reality. You have to see yourself in the light of the teaching, in the words of the Guru. Your own reality, once you see like that, there has to be a certain transformation. The self-transformation has to be there. The self-identity has to transform, in fact. Of course, it is not going to happen with only one class you attend. Okay. Any insight has to be repeated. So you have to go on till the time it becomes natural. The new identity has to become natural to you. That is what is called sahaja. So how long and all, nobody, it all depends on where you start from, what are your qualifications, etc. What other thing anyway you have worthwhile in your life. So it is better to do only Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. And whenever it is clear to you, it is clear. That's it. It is your own anubhava, correct? There. You will know when you know about yourself. Till then, it will continue, and even the pursuit itself has to be a joyous one. Understand that. This Vedanta is not, it should not be, the pursuit should not be boring or it should not be a pain. The pursuit also should be joyous because it is talking about you as the source of all happiness. Correct? It is revealing to you, it is revealing you as Vijnanam Anandam Brahma, in fact. You are the source of all happiness. You are that conscious being which does not lack anything. You are the limitless. So that is the truth here we are talking about. In fact, it is like you seeing your face in the mirror, correct? Nobody gets tired of that, I think. Even wherever the self-identity is there, with reference to the body, if you have a self-identity, even body, you don't get tired of. Even every day looking at the mirror also, you get up in the morning, you don't feel that I am bored. What is this same face I am seeing? In fact, the face also, in youth, it was like one way. Later on, it is not the same. But still, it's okay. We all love to see ourselves because that self-identity is there. The self alone makes it like that. Understand that. That means even with reference to body, if it is like that, the self by itself, which is the source of all happiness, should always be a joyous pursuit. That's why you should not accept if somebody says that you have given up everything, you are only studying Vedanta, you are a great Tyagi and all that. It's not really true. Understand that. If you think that you have done a lot of Tyaga to study Vedanta, you are not fit to study Vedanta. You have to study Vedanta because it's happy. It is how you can be happy, correct? If you are doing something by which you are happy, you have not done anything, any favor to anybody, or you have not given up anything really. Understand that. You are doing whatever makes you happy. You are pursuing something which makes you happy, means you have not really sacrificed anything and all that. If you think you have sacrificed something, then there is a problem actually. Then in fact, Vedanta will not work for you. You have to come to Vedanta because that's what makes you happy. The whole pursuit is one of happiness, and the pursuit itself has to be happy for that. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so the Shruti is revealing to you your truth so clearly. It says you are that Brahman. Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi. You cannot be any more emphatic than that, correct? So the Shruti sees this reality, and then out of its own compassion, it is revealing that. Now continuing, Paramatma Padatva Yancha Maya Shrutiralpa Kanoktiriha Bihita Animadi Gunam Saditi Prakritam Tadasittvamiti Shrutirapyavadat. Okay. From the Kenopanishad, now Acharya is quoting the Chandogya. Okay. So the Tatvamasi. So this 6th chapter of Chandogya starts with the revelation of the Sadvastu, correct? Sadeva Saumya Idamagre Asi Ekameva Advitiyam. Like that. In fact, before that, there is a story also, correct? Uddalaka, Shvetaketu. There's an interesting story there. So anyway, so here, Paramatma Padatva Iyam Cha Maya. So whatever I said before, 36, 37, 38 also, now Acharya is saying, I am showing you all the Shrutihi Alpa Kanoktihi. I have given you bit by bit a brief introduction, you can say. Okay. Briefly, I have referred to what the Shruti has revealed, correct, about this Paramatma, which is nothing but the Atma alone. So whatever I have quoted here, again, this is also said by the Chandogya Shruti. So the next line he is quoting the Chandogya Shruti, Animadi Gunam Saditi. So the Sadvastu, which is presented as this Jagat Karanam, understand? And it has all this Animadi Guna also is there. Okay. Means it is presented at the Jagat Karanam, means it has all the qualities. Okay. Whatever you can think of, everything, it is Jagat Karanam. Okay. This Animadi Gunam means what? Saya. In fact, that Animadi Gunam is actually referring to a Shruti Vakya in the Chandogya. Saya Yeshaha Anima Aitad Atmyam Idam Sarvam. That's how it is. In fact, that Tattvamasi comes 9 times. Each time there is something said before that. So here Acharya is actually referring to this Vakya, Saya Yeshaha Anima Aitadatmyam Idam Sarvam Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketo, like that. So that is it's a very prasiddha Vakya. Okay. And there it is said that the Sadvastu is Animadi Gunam, means basically it is Sukshma. It is subtle. That's why it is all pervading. Like even the space being subtle is all pervading, correct? But this Sadvastu, which is Atma, is even subtler than the space because it pervades the space also. Space itself is in this self. Therefore, that's why that word anima is used here to point out that the self is the subtlest of everything. And it is the karanam for everything. And therefore what? Sadeva Satyam. This is also said in the same Upanishad beautifully. The Sadvastu alone is Satyam. Everything else is Nitya. The whole Karana Karya Prakriya itself is only a Adhyaropa Apavada. Understand that. Deliberately, first we superimpose the Karanatvam on Brahman to reveal Brahman to you. We say that Brahman is the Jagat Karanam. Okay, then what? Since Brahman alone is the Jagat Karanam, Karanam alone is Satyam. Karya is mithya because we are talking about the Karana Karya as Vivarta. So Brahman is the Vivarta Karanam means what? This Vivarta Karanam means it does not change, it does not modify without changing, without any modification, without whatever being a part or something this world has been produced. Okay, that is the beauty. So we say Swarupa aparityagena rupantara apattihi. That is called Vivarta. Swarupa aparityaga means what? Without giving up one's nature, a vastu takes another form. Correct? Rupantara apattihi means Rupantara means another form. So when an object can take a particular form without losing its nature, that is called Vivarta. Like even gold is there. Gold can be a bangle. Today you don't like the bangle, you can melt that gold and then make it into a ring. Fine. But still it is gold, correct? Gold is gold. Gold has not lost its nature or anything. In fact, if you want to take a gold loan, they don't care whether it is a ring or a bangle or anything, correct? All they care about is how much it weighs. The weight of the jewelry is the weight of the gold, really, correct? The name and form is name and form only. It's not of the same order of reality as the substance. And in fact, the only substance which is really there in this entire world is Sadvastu. And that Sadvastu is not different from you, Tattvamasi. That is the teaching. Okay, Aitadatnyam idam sarvam. This the entire thing, whatever is there here is yourself alone. And that yourself is this Sadvastu, which is presented as Tat, which is the Jagat Karanam. So Animadi Gunam Saditi Prakritam, because the Saditi Prakritam means first Sadvastu is talked about in the Upanishad also. That is the matter, subject matter under discussion. And then that whatever is being discussed, this Sadvastu is presented as Jagat Karanam also. It is shown that Agni, Apaha, Prithvi, Trivrit Karanam and all is talked about also in the Chandogya. And it is shown as the Jagat Karanam, and then it is shown as the Satyam also. Sadeva Satyam. It is the only truth. There is an ontological term, correct? Satyam. Satyam and Mithya are ontological terms. Means they are not a particular object. They tell the reality of a particular object. And here Sadvastu alone is Satyam. And that Satya Sadvastu is you. Okay. That is the teaching. So Shruti has again said that this Paramatma and Jivatma are only one Atma really. Okay, it is all only some standpoint. The same Atma, when looked at through the individual Upadhi, is an individual self or Jivatma. The same Paramatma or the same Atma looked at through the Samashti Upadhi, the totality. In totality, if you see, it is Paramatma. But Paramatma, Jivatma, all are only Atma. Only one Atma is there. There is no difference. There is only absolute identity there. That's what one has to understand. Shruti also is revealing that. So with this, the Shruti quotations are all over to point out to the Shishya that the individual Atma alone is the limitless Paramatma also. Is that clear? You should not have any doubt about that. And next few verses, actually, Acharya compares the space, Nabhas, how it is, and similarly how Atma also is very subtle. In fact, if there is any analogy which we can use, space is a very good analogy to understand this Atma. So that's why Acharya is going to use that in the next few verses. Those things we'll see next week. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.